Hey guys, well, like I said in my previous review, I'm going to review See No Evil 2. Now, I already reviewed the first See No Evil, so if you haven't checked that one out, check it out. But if you have, you already know my opinion. I did like the first See No Evil, but it wasn't perfect though. Like, it had its problems a little here and there. But overall, I liked it for what it was. And so, this one, I'm going to first start by saying, yes, I did like this movie, but it's just like the first movie. It wasn't perfect either, it had its problems here and there. But overall, I did like it, and so I'm gonna get into it. So, like, it's kind of weird too because, when I saw the first See No Evil, I didn't think there could really be a sequel to it, but it was overall made. So, they basically did the impossible. They made a sequel to a movie that just didn't really look like it needed a sequel. Alright, so this one is set the same day as the first See No Evil. It picks up, I guess, like sometime like half hour, an hour later. And so the body of Jacob Goodnight is picked up by an ambulance, as well as all like the dead bodies from the first movie, and they're all brought to the morgue, where this girl named Amy, played by Danielle Harris, it's her birthday, and so she's like was at first gonna like leave, but then like after hearing they're getting gets a lot of dead bodies coming in, she decides to stay and just cancel her little party with her friends. But then like her friends show up at that morgue and just surprise her, and her brother also is amongst her friends as well. And so like so Jacob Goodnight's body is brought to that morgue. They put his body down to the basement, but then like also Catherine Isabel plays one of her friends. So like her and her boyfriend go down to where his body is, but then like he just rises from the dead, which to me is kind of really weird because like they showed in the first See No Evil that Kane was not an unstoppable force. He was not like Jason or Michael or Freddy. He wasn't like a supernatural serial killer of any sort. He was just a regular guy. And like the way he died, I don't really see him coming back from it. I mean, he took a pipe right to the eye, and he also like fell like 100 feet right to his death, and he also got like kind of like impaled by these little spikes as well. So like that's pretty much dead right over there. But without any story, he just randomly rises from the dead, and so then like he basically patches himself up. Yeah, sorry, he patches himself up with this like Mascovir from a burn victim, and has also gauze on like the eye where he got that pipe. So he like patches himself up, and so then he starts like going on a rampage in that morgue. Starts like going on a killing spree, and so like all like the group of friends have to like fight their way to like survive, get away somehow. Yeah, so now like that's basically like the whole premise of this movie. So, but it did like other things well. I mean, like the characters, they actually like they gave them like some like subplots. They got like, so we know that Danielle Harris's brother is like kind of controlling, and and also like so he's not really all that much of a likable character, but the other characters are mostly likable. Yeah, I mean, Catherine Isabel's character, she was a little kind of annoying, a little here and there, but she was a little funny though. Well, Danielle Harris was, of course, was the most likable character. But there was like some stuff in this that kind of disappointed me, like because like the first movie was all out like carnage, really gory. Like this one was a little bit tamed. Like so. Like, remember how in the first movie, Jacob Goodnight, like, was ripping out people's eyeballs and putting them in, like, glass jars because the windows are the eyes to the soul? And if you liked that in the first one, you're going to be disappointed because he just does not do that in this one. He doesn't rip out people's eyeballs. I think the reason why he doesn't, though, is because, like, of what, like, his mother did to him at the very end. Like, how, like, she was going, well, can you see it? Can you see it? And so, like, there's a part where he like takes his mother's corpse and like he says, "I see it," and like he even like says to this girl, "I see the sin on you." And you know what? He's actually does a pretty good job. Like Kane, like he was pretty good in the first movie, but I think he actually did a pretty good job in this one. He had more lines in this one, so it wasn't like just in the first one like where he just had one line and he was just basically acting with his facial expressions. But he actually had more lines and he did a pretty good job. And the acting overall in this movie was pretty good. I mean, Katharine Isabelle was a little over the top, but like I said, she was, in a way, it was pretty funny. And even though it wasn't as gory as the first movie, I mean, the gore effects were pretty good, but it wasn't that much gore in it, because usually a sequel is like supposed to be more gory than the first one. And also, remember how I had mentioned in my review of the first one how like he had that hook on a chain, which was a pretty good weapon? Well, if you like that, much like how you're going to be disappointed that he doesn't rip off people's eyeballs, you're going to be pretty disappointed with this one too, because he only uses it one time in this one. Instead, he mostly uses like this surgical knife over here, like kind of like a machete. It reminded me of the that futuristic machete from Jason X, and I actually thought it was a pretty good weapon of choice. I also did like the morgue setting as well. Like I liked the atmosphere of this one, and I also did like how these characters like gave them like basically like an emotional depth as well. So like we kind of like feel for the characters. Even we also felt for the killer too. So like we had like an emotional depth to it. Yeah. So this was directed by the Soska sisters, who directed American Mary, which was a pretty good movie that also starred Katharine Isabelle, and she was good in that as well. Yeah. So they definitely like did a pretty good job of this. They made a pretty good sequel. It's a pretty good, fun sequel that, in a way, I kind of actually liked a little more than the first movie because of like, despite not being as gory as the first movie, I mean, it had like some better acting because the first one had some pretty bad acting. It had like pretty good like emotional direction and pretty good music too, and like pretty good atmosphere. Like, well, like I still liked the first movie. It still is a pretty good movie, pretty good WWE movie. But so I actually thought this was a little bit better than the first movie. Not like way better, but just like a little bit better. So like, I think that's really all I gotta say. So like so this was a pretty good sequel. It's worth checking out if you like the first movie. I'm pretty sure you're gonna like this one too. And so like the Soska sisters did a pretty good job at this. I look forward to seeing another movie of theirs. And that's really all I gotta say. So check out See No Evil 2. Alright. See you later.